Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's our fourth lecture in continuity of the previous lecture of social studies from geography for class 8th. This lecture is also from chapter number 4 and the name of the chapter is natural disasters. First of all, have a look upon learning outcomes. Inshallah, after this lecture, students will be able to discuss the natural phenomena that cause disasters for mankind. Analyze the impacts of various natural disasters with special reference to Pakistan. Examine the usual management practices including forecast, monitoring and mitigation. List the safety measures that can be taken in case of natural disasters. Let's have a recap of previous lecture number 3. In our previous lecture we have discussed the meaning of disaster. A disaster is a natural or man-made event that negatively affects life, vegetation, property, livelihood or industry, etc. at a larger scale. Often it is resulting in permanent changes to human societies, ecosystems and environment. For example, volcanism, landslides, desertification, floods, cyclones, earthquakes and forest fires are such natural phenomena which cause destruction for mankind. In our previous lecture we have discussed about volcanism and landslides, and today we are going to discuss desertification and floods. Desertification, as this picture shows, the arable fertile land when turns into barren dry area and with the passage of time turn into desert due to some of the natural or due to some human activities. It is known as desertification. The extension of deserts at the expense of cultivable lands is called desertification. There are many reasons. First of all, human induced activities. For example, massive cutting of trees. It would have adverse effect on our weather changes, and as the weather changes, it would be responsible for the desertification. And burning of fuel in factories, in vehicles, at domestic level. Carbon content is becoming high, creating global warming, and it would lead to desertification. Industrialization and urbanization also is a major factor that is responsible for increasing desertification. All these activities are responsible not only for desertification but also for climate change. Climate change also favored the process of desertification, favored to increase the process of desertification. And the arable land is going to be reduced. If the fertile arable land would be reduced, there would be agricultural production lessened day by day due to this menace, due to this threat. Usable water resources are also depleting and are the reason of desertification. Due to desertification, human and animals are forced to migrate from the affected areas, and this trend is also increasing day by day. This picture is going to show you the effects of desertification and climate change. Rain and snow patterns are changing. Higher temperatures and more heat waves are leading to more droughts and wildfires. Thawing permafrost is also happening. Glaciers are melting. There are stronger storms. Land and aquatic lives are also damaging. Shortage of food is happening and increase in poverty at local level may occur. What is the situation of desertification in Pakistan? In Pakistan, as you know, the climate is quite warm and dry. The annual amount of rainfall is less than 25 centimeters. Warm and dry climate is known as arid or semi-arid. So the weather conditions prevail in almost 80% area of Pakistan are arid to semi-arid. It has dry climate with less rainfall, and these factors are increasing desertification in Pakistan. The main cause of desertification in Pakistan is unsafe and poor ways of cultivation as such, which result in soil erosion, lapse of fertility, and continuous drop in biodiversity. Drop in biodiversity means vegetational areas, forested cover, number of trees are going to be lessened day by day, and due to which the wildlife also adversely affect. Here the question arises, what would be the safety measures to be adopted to combat, to face the desertification? So first of all, there should be discouragement about unchecked massive cutting of trees, and we should plant new trees. Afforestation and plantation of new trees can favor us in two ways. Firstly, it reduces desertification by keeping weather conditions moderate, and secondly, it acts as hurdle to stop the spread of desertification towards cultivable areas, as the trees not only strengthen the soil, the fertile soil, and stop erosion of the fertile soil, and also trees are helpful to make the soil fertile. The next safety measure we can adopt is that we should adopt modern ways of cultivation and irrigation so that we can stop desertification. We can use organic, especially organic, and even chemical fertilizers to enhance the fertility of the land. and there should be awareness campaigns, awareness programs about to stop desertification. The next topic, as these pictures are going to show you, is floods. Excessive water when comes into out of the banks of the rivers and reaches in the settlements of human beings are known as floods. So let's have a look upon the definition: an overflow of river water. When river water swallows and overflow out of its channel, which may cause damage to the nearby settlements, is called flood. Floods are also considered natural disaster because it may be a cause of social and environmental degradation. It can damage any constructional frame, farms, orchard, livestock, and cultural monuments as well. Although there are some positive effects of floods, but there may be a loss of lives, especially of women, children, and aged persons, along with the animals. There may be spread of diseases and epidemics in the flooded areas. And what is the situation of floods in Pakistan? Now we are going to discuss this topic. Pakistan has a natural system of rivers flowing out of northern mountain ranges. Natural water system of Pakistan starts from northern mountains, the highest mountains of the world. These mountain ranges are home of huge glaciers outside the polar areas as well. And they melt, form the streams, and feed these rivers. The upper plains of these rivers are situated in the rainy monsoon region, as we are going to discuss floods in Pakistan. And the upper plains, which are Indus plain, and that plain is situated in monsoon region, and it faces monsoon rainfall during July and August, especially due to glacier melting and these heavy showers of monsoon rains cause heavy flooding in the rivers of Pakistan. And our next topic is safety measures. Due to advancement in technology, now there are forecasts that what is the situation of the water levels in different rivers, in dams and in barrages as well, and they often give warning alerts to the nearby living to the people living in the nearby areas. So first of all, we should create awareness among the people about the flood risks especially living in the areas which are more prone to floods, areas where the possibility of flood is higher than the other areas. Evacuation plan should be prepared before flood. This plan should be prepared before flood to get people out of dangerous areas immediately. Electricity and gas supplies should be disconnected to avoid any accident. And there should be camps established in safe areas to provide shelter and food to the affectees. There should be proper arrangements made for the return of affectees to their homes, and all such efforts for reconstruction of houses and rehabilitation of the affectees should be made on governmental and non-governmental level. Let's have a recap. We are going to summarize our today's lecture, and it is quite easy. We have discussed the definition of natural disasters. Also in our previous lecture, that any natural phenomena which may cause loss of life and property for mankind is called natural disaster. The impacts of desertification and floods, with special reference to Pakistan. In our previous lecture, we looked upon the impacts of desertification and landsliding. We also discussed the usual management practices, including forecast monitoring and mitigation, and we also discussed the safety measures that can be taken in case of any natural disaster. I hope you have got the lecture, and if there is any problem, you may comment, you may ask your question and write in the comment box so that your ambiguity could be cleared. So let's have home assignment. I hope you have started chapter number 4 and read the relevant topics as well, and inshallah you would be able to write the short and detailed answers of the relevant questions given in the exercise at the end of the chapter. Thank you, students. Allah bless you, and always keep it in your mind. Work hard is the key of success. Allah Hafiz.